Right, welcome ladies and gents. Unmitigated disaster. That is Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. The reviews are in. It's important to note. So we're going to look at the reviews. It's awful. Awful reviews. And Warner Brothers were very, very selective about who they sent review copies out to. Really, really, really selective. Basically saying, give us a good review, or else. So there you go. Says it all, I think. It's a very, very similar tactic to when a movie is coming out and the review embargo isn't until like a day before it releases. Why? Because the company wants as many people to go and watch it without any outside interference. And they believe that it's like make or break, basically. Whereas normally you'd be like, yeah, I want people to review it. Absolutely. Unless there's spoilers and stuff, that kind of makes sense. But never really a good sign. And this is hilarious. Insert the Joker meme of you get what you deserve. I mean, you do this, play dumb games, win dumb prizes. And this is what Rocksteady did. They've killed the Justice League. And Suicide Squad. And themselves. So, well done, Rocksteady. Let's take a look. Hit subscribe if you're new here, folks. Turn the bell notifications on. And follow me over on Twitter and Instagram at Misstage Review. So let's have a look, shall we? So Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League reviews are in. Absolutely not worth the wait. Yeah, there are some which are like mixed. But due to the nature, and this is where people go, oh, conspiracy theorists, shut up. Due to the nature of Warner Brothers not giving copies out and also threatening people with, if you say anything bad, we'll never give you a review copy again, access media type. I think it would be a logical conclusion, a logical step to take, to say the positive reviews may have been biased and swayed. Maybe. I think that makes a lot of sense. But anyway, so Rocksteady, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League has launched, and much like the previews, the reviews are a mixed bag. So the early previews did nothing to enthrall fans, of course. Even the mainstream gaming press loathed it. They hated the repetitive, boring gameplay, halted the few moments of fun they had, and it failed to stand out among other live service open world games. It shouldn't have been live service. I don't understand why it was live service. IGN would later report that they had been denied a copy of the game to review, and this could be somewhat predicted as they didn't enjoy the preview overly much, with Director of Video Content Strategy at IGN, Destin Legarie, concluding, I left the preview event less optimistic than when I came in, and even so, many others also had underwhelming experiences. So the reviews at launch continue the trend, but there were those with praise, so VGC gave it a 4 out of 5. Jesus. With Jordan Midler giving somewhat backhanded praise. It said the following: Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is a visually stunning anti-hero romp that's fun to play, even if the things you're actually doing are somewhat repetitive. That's not a compliment. Rocksteady's Arkhamverse comes to a close in style without fully succumbing to the live service demons. Oh, what call major bollocks on that? The thing's been down for like several days. It had servers down. This is despite also noting the microtransactions for costumes were expensive. I mean, that's not positive, is it? Midler also highlights how Rocksteady tried to gut the live service elements. As while gear is tiered, players are quickly given very powerful tools. It means that when stuff drops from enemies, there's no incentive to look at it, because you probably already have something great. Or you're about to go up an entire tier during the next mission. So that seems pointless, doesn't it? What's the point of playing this? Xbox era's Jesse Doncabese, interesting name, Norris, was another reviewer offering high praise, granting the recently released title an 8.2 out of 10. While the objectives can feel repetitive, the excellent gameplay never does. What? The objectives feel repetitive, but the gameplay never does. The gameplay is in direct correlation to the objectives, surely. Anyway, despite praising the graphics, gameplay, writing, and the gear loot system, even Jesse couldn't applaud the always online demands. We had Noah Nelson of PC Invasion, gave an 8 out of 10, says the good found in gameplay cutscenes. Cutscenes. You don't play a game for the cutscenes. And level design far outweigh the bad found in the campaign's pacing and some grisly missions and boss fights. That doesn't sound good. Nelson upheld the game's humour, combat, level design, and smart live service aspects. Nevertheless, he took issue with it being repetitive by nature of being a live service game. The story feeling rushed at the end, boss fights, and missions varying wildly in quality, and the ever-loathed escort missions. Push Squares, Aaron Byrne, or Bain, sorry, was another who gave... I mean, 7 out of 10 is great. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is a complicated game. It's tough not to think about what could have been if Rocksteady opted for another traditional single-player title, especially since the split personalities at this game's heart stop it from reaching the heights of the developer's previous works. None of this sounds good, guys. This still sounds bad. You know? I can't deny that the game's fun. He says, there's a bittersweet feeling surrounding Suicide Squad, and that sentiment will remain for a lot of players, but it's hard to say that Rocksteady entirely missed the mark with this big gamble. So many of the criticisms that the positive reviews did bring up, shared by those who didn't like the game. So, you know, we got a 60 out of 100. His conclusion was essentially... These are positive reviews, well, negative reviews dressed up positively. Suicide Squad is a shadow of what once made Rocksteady one of the best developers for open world action games. That's not good. And then we got this one. 4 out of 5. High praise for representation. Game design, 1 out of 5. It's essentially fun. It's uncreative, too repetitive. And heroes also play similarly. How is that positive? We had this, Keen Gamer. 55 out of 100. Overall, the game leaves a lot to be desired. At first glance, the combat seems interesting, but ultimately falls flat due to the repetitive nature of the missions and combat encounters. Yeah, that's not good. Elk Hendry praised some dialogue and cutscenes. Ugh. Mentioned that the dialogue made moments in the story that were not ideal, more tolerable. Always Online Demand was a slap in the face, but it can be forgiven. Yeah, because you got a paycheck, clearly. Ultimately, the game can be enjoyed by some DC fans looking for some quick, chaotic fun, yet a lot of die-hard comic book fans will be quick to criticise certain aspects of comic accuracy and character development. The hefty price tag is definitely unjustified and doesn't feel fully worth it. That sounds fucking terrible. A Spanish outlet, 4 out of 10. Finally, an actual just honest negative rather than a negative dressed up positively. Said it was repetitive, making the same mistakes as Marvel's Avengers. An always online requirement is a negative as well. Is this the same Rocksteady Studios that made the legendary Batman Arkham? Honestly, I don't know. But the game doesn't deliver in hardly any of its various aspects, being an adventure game that I would only recommend if you decide to buy it at a much lower price. Yep, well, you could probably do that because it's on discount. Wow. IGN released their review finally as well. My first 11 or so hours with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League have left me with wildly mixed thoughts. There are a lot of things I like, things I don't, and worst of all, things that elicit no emotional response at all. The end of its shortish campaign, but not... this was after reaching the end of its shortish campaign, but not the post-game. Thoughtful mission design is almost non-existent, and many of its looter-shooter systems fall flat. Holy shit. I mean, there's a lot of this. From what we've experienced so far, it seems clear that Suicide Squad is not a bad game, but neither is it a good one. So it's a bad game then. Absolutely not worth the wait. Very solid. Lacks imaginative weapons and pales comparison to the Arkham series and Spider-Man 2. But there was one game it shared similarities with. It's depressing how Suicide Squad blunders into all the same mistakes as Marvel's Avengers. Wow. Including not properly leveraging its source material. So it's bad. Wow. Repetitive garbage. What do you guys think? I like this game. Do you know why I like this game? Give me a lot of content. Love it. Anyway, leave your thoughts down below. Would love to hear it. Genuinely, I do want to hear your thoughts. It's interesting. Some people are mixed on this. Some people actually quite like it. So I'm curious to hear whether you're one that actually likes it or not. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.